Happy day. We are on day 13. I am just going to keep this also short and sweet as we lead up into our grand finale. Um, the Sunday is going to be a little more motivational as we wrap up, and Saturday will be a little more intense as we go through the 4 P's of marketing. So for today, stories have been something that I have also used throughout the years, but a lot of times I've been all over the place. My stories are somewhere where I don't really know what to do with them. But recently, I've learned some techniques, and Facebook has changed the way that they're sharing stories. So lots of marketers are reporting that they're having a lot of success with stories. And so Stories is a place where you can sell, and it can also be a great place to kind of run a conversation. So instead of each story being its own thing, a stories can be a place where number one, you can connect. So some of the little daily things that you might be doing that you might not want to put as an actual post on your feed goes in stories. So if you're walking the dog, if you're having a beautiful day, that can go in stories. That's traditionally what I've done with it. However, recently, Facebook has been showing stories. When someone goes on your profile, they're actually showing stories as a post, and that is getting a lot more eyes onto people's stories. And so stories can actually be almost like a carousel. So for this activity, you can use it as a story in Facebook and then use it as even a carousel in your Instagram or in TikTok. You can run a carousel of pictures in TikTok now as well. But it's kind of like a continuing conversation. So, what I've been doing with it recently is sharing one of my reels on something and then following up the conversation. And so, what I mean by that, I'm going to share my screen here and we can go through one together. But recently, I did one where I had a critical illness reel that I did. And then I took out data and put that into my stories and continued a conversation about critical illness within my stories. So I'm going to try and share my screen here. And we're going to do one today on a story. I'll just show you kind of real time how I'm doing that. All right, so you should be hopefully seeing my screen now from my phone. So what I did was I did a critical illness one. So if you go onto my profile right now, you will see how they're showing stories on profiles. So you scroll down. This was actually a story that I did. Let me bring that down. And so they're showing your stories kind of right on your profile right now, which is really helping people see it more. So I took that. So this was the critical illness reel that I did. And then I turned it into a series of stories. So I posted the reel and then I posted the reel to my stories. Then I actually went in and grabbed some details or some data from the internet or from ChatGPT about critical illness. So I found out that this is how much roughly Canadians are paying for cancer. And so I kind of cut and pasted that and made that into a snippet. The average Canadian, so I cut and pasted this part. The average Canadian would incur this much money. Then I Googled how many people would get cancer, how many Canadians will get it. And then I cut and pasted that into a story. And then the last story was them to reach out to me. So if I was to do one today, I could do something kind of similar. So I'm going to grab a reel. I'm going to actually make this one kind of a recruiting one. So I had a gal yesterday reach out to me. She was so happy because she got a comma check. A comma check in our business is when you make over $1,000 in a pay cycle. So cool because we get paid twice a week. So in Canada, we get paid on Tuesdays and Fridays. If you're also building a US business like I am, you get paid in the US on Mondays and Thursdays. So I actually now you could actually get paid Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's always almost payday for you, which is really cool. So cool to be able to earn money in Canada and the US, especially if you're Canadian and you get to enjoy the bump of the differential between the Canadian and the US dollars. So I'm going to make this a story. So I'm going to just kind of make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to add some text. So amazing to see a teammate win. I'm going to put a little emoji. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to maybe make it like that. And I'm going to fix my words because that's not spelled right. And they like it when we use their stuff, like their stickers and stuff like that. So I'm going to add a little arrow, right? Anytime you're using the tools of the place that you're in, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, they like it when you're using their tools. Okay. So I'm going to share that. Then I'm going to say, I'm going to look up a stat, average income Canada. The average income. Okay, so the average person in Canada is making this much money. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to turn that into a story. Paste. In Canada. I'm going to change it to is instead of was. Is. So I'm going to change this. That's how you change that. I'm going to make it the same color as the other one. So there's some congruency maybe. Okay, so I'm going to do that as a story. Then I'm going to go average debt. Average debt. Let's see. Canadian consumer debt. Average American has more debt than Canadians. Okay, so I'm going to find, so let's just say the average consumer debt is that much money because it varies by. Okay, so we're going to copy this. The average consumer debt for all of Canada is 21,000. I'm going to put that into a story. Average consumer debt for Canadians. I'm going to change it to be a congruent. Share that. And then I'm going to say, let's see. I'm going to make another story. Sorry if this is slow, but I want to make sure you guys know how to do this. Would an extra $1,000 a month make a difference to your family and share? I'm going to say text another story. How about building a full-time income from home would building home make a difference for your family? Family? Question mark. I'm going to change it to be the same again. Share and then text it if you want 2025 to be the year you get out of you you extra financial. Okay, so I'm going to say that now. I'm going to change it to be congruent. Okay, and I'm going to share that. So now my stories is kind of like a continuing conversation, if that makes sense. I've got this. Kind of reminding them how possibly they might not be in the position they want to be in. Planting this seed for part-time income as well as full-time income. Again, this is a business. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but earning an extra $1,000 in a month in a few hours is very realistic if someone is putting the work in. Being able to build a six-figure income from home is very realistic if that's what they want to do. And so I'm using my story as a continuing conversation. And again, always adding a call to action, telling them what I want to do, what they should do, dropping the word so that we can start a conversation. And then when they do raise their hand, again, of course, I'm going to use the CTA delay. I'm going to use that as an opportunity to ask them some questions, ask them what are you doing for income right now? I'm going to use that as a chance to edify them. I'm going to use it as a chance to get to know them so I can identify, are they someone that I can help? Is what we do going to serve them at all? Are they going to possibly be a fit for what we do? And how can I actually use what they're saying to help identify the ways for them to help? What's actually important to them? It's always about them. It's not about me. If they want to earn extra income, great. I can help them do that. If they want to learn how to get out of debt, I can help them do that. If they want to work from home so that they can homeschool their kids like I do, I can help them do that. But I have to find out first what's important to them so that I can respond appropriately. It's not about just railing them into my desired outcome. It's about figuring out what's really important to them so that I can truly help them. So that's how you can use your stories to help you build your business. I would love to see everyone do that. I'd love to see comments, but that is going to be your homework for today. Use stories as a continuous conversation.